apologize. I'm going to have to leave in about 5 to 8 minutes, and the reason is I'm trying to attend a funeral service later this morning. So I'm sorry about that.
I just wanted to take the opportunity for a second here to indicate that Mr. Falconer is going to receive an honorarium from our association on behalf of the material to getting this stuff out to the public.
Yes.
Okay, this material needs to be spread around. And so the honorarium will go towards the perpetuation of this material being published and circulated. Okay, questions? Yes.
I'm Ron Town I'm not representing the appeal board, but I've been a teacher in the appeal board for over 30 years. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, and you mentioned something that hit home with me, and that is the focus of the schools in Ontario, at least the ones that I've worked in, has always been academic education. That is the primary focus. We've said for years, before I became a teacher, the faculty of education taught us nothing. I still hear it from student teachers that come to me today and say the same thing. I'm learning nothing in the faculty of education. I know you don't have a lot of time. And the teacher is the most important contact the kid has.
That's right.
He always has been, and he always will be. But we don't get the tools, as you said, to do the job that needs to be done. We don't do the socialization. We don't do the special ed because we don't know. We try as best we can, but we don't know. Now, you've talked about politics and going from the top, from the ministry down, trying to get change. And we've been largely unsuccessful for many, many decades now, getting those changes. Teachers know how to make those changes. Administrators know how to make those changes, but they are reluctant to do so for the reasons you said. My question to you, because you're a lawyer, you're in the legal field, judges, since the charter, judges have been making law in this country, as opposed to legislation making law. Why can't we go through the court system? Why can't there be a class action suit? Why can't somebody sit up and sue the government for $100 million, sue the Ministry of Education for a huge amount of money that would make them sit up and take notice, instead of trying to go the political route where ministers of education change every 5 years. They're not even educated. I'm frustrated, obviously, you can tell from my voice. I'm very frustrated. I have a special ed kid, but I've been in the system for a long time myself, and I've been frustrated by my work with special ed kids. And I've heard all the terms, at risk and everything else, and we're still at the point we were nearly 30 years ago. We've moved very slowly making any progress with these youth that you talk about. So my question is there a legal route that we can take rather than a political one?
Okay, let me first be the coward, which is I will not answer your question directly because I'm not going to start giving legal advice as a lawyer. I'm here as a former chair of a former panel that delivered a report, and I'm speaking to its findings. So I know, as tempting as it is as a trial lawyer with an inbred incentive to encourage litigation, I'm not going to do it. I think it's a sad commentary that's where you feel we're at. I think that's the truth. That's a sad commentary. I would encourage you to take a look at the report on what we recommend about teachers, colleges, taking a second look at how they teach teachers, and in particular strategies for teaching teachers how to re-engage. The whole notion of, I was really struck, Margaret Wente wrote a column, a number of columns, including ones in which she called me stupid and otherwise, and I think it's important you should know that because it informs my next remark. And in one of her columns, she asked what the heck re-engagement meant. Well, if we're at that level where people don't even understand the terminology for discussing bringing our kids back in, then there's a lot of work to be done from a public relations, community reaching out point of view that isn't about suing people. It's about getting people all on the same page. And so I hear you, and I'm not encouraging or discouraging you because I'm just declining to speak as a lawyer today. But it is a sad commentary on where we're at.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Terry.
First, I would like to thank you for your kind words earlier, but that aside, your report and recommendations are crucial for us and gives us an opportunity to use those tools. And based on my experience within, as a deaf education activist, I'm a former MPP. I'm the former parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Education, so I definitely have experience there. I, in the past, have sued the government and have been through the human rights process. I've been through all of this. I have documents on political action and legal action that I've been involved in. The Minister of Education has got to share responsibility with the school boards as well. The Minister of Education and the school boards. And I think the real issue is a problem with the Education Act itself. It gives the power to the school boards and less power for a provincial role to be, and I think that's where the issues really are. What's imperative for us to be effective and change the educational system is something that I would encourage all of you to find a way to be creative. Contact a lawyer, go through the legal process. I guess my question for you, Mr. Falconer, is would you be willing to provide some pro bono work for you? But just to take a legal test, to go through a legal test, specifically on safety issues and the complaints policy that they haven't instituted, and forcing them to comply with that. I guess, can you tell me, is there any possibility that your law firm could offer us some assistance to do this?
See the can of worms you open up when you're nice to somebody at the start of a speech? Gary's comments have the complete ring of truth because they are true. I don't need to personalize this other than to tell you something, Gary. I stopped being paid on the school community.